Guys, deluded, I'm back again, man. With the new manager coming in, I thought I'd flatter myself and I thought I'd offer my personal two pence with. I haven't necessarily, I know I like Wenger, and even though I wanted him to step down, but there's been some things he's done with playing players, with developing players, with loaning out players. We've been here many times that I haven't agreed with. And I thought, let me rustle up a list of players I would like to see our manager consider serious options or do several things with, or different things with, ultimately. So I've got it here. Who we got first in the list? Let me move them up. Deluded thing, in case you ain't seen that. What other YouTuber got the deluded thing? But anywho, yeah, we moved that away. Who have I got first? My guy, Jeff Rene Adelaide. He's on loan at the moment. He's doing all right there, not making any headlines, but he's there to get football, add some consistency and add some decisiveness into his game at men's level. He's 20 years of age. 17, 18, he's been on the crust with the first team. He's been flying with them. He's ultimately been, I can't remember the number, but in the event that when we go to away games, someone gets injured, he gets drafted in as a sub. He's rated highly. We remember the Emirates Cup. Centre mid, cam, on either flanks. I even saw him at youth level, a game against Derby at some point playing left wing back. That's not his position, but he's adaptable. He can fit in. If we're not going to sign a winger or sign someone, there's a spot for him. There's a spot for him regardless, in my opinion. If he stays injury-free, he can have a big career here for me personally. So I definitely believe it's time for him to, I'm not saying start him, but allow him to be considered a genuine option for the side to fight and earn a spot on the bench or on a match day, to be honest with you. Not having a dig at Iwobi, but when you see that he's got 30-plus appearances and not even more than 5, I'd be amazed if he has more than 5 goals, 5 assists. Pardon me if I'm wrong. Pardon me if I'm wrong. When you see people like that, that's been very much mediocre, Jeff and Nelson, these guys really should get a look in, to be honest, because the only thing Iwobi has on them is experience. I do think Iwobi at this current moment is somewhat sharper in the mind playing at Premier League football than them two, because they ain't been given a chance. So that's Jeff. Holding, he's shown he's got quality. You saw in the FA Cup final. You've seen in some other big games, United a couple of seasons ago. You've seen that he's on crud, Leicester. But there's been games he's been ripped, he's been destroyed, he's been killed, he's been incredibly naive, and ultimately at times when we're capitulating, he's a young man being hung out to dry. I think there's something in him. I'm not going to say he can be world class. I just simply think a man could be a competent defender for this club. But he's only going to get the naivety out of his game if someone coaches him, and ultimately if he plays games, whether that's going to be on loan or which I don't want, or here. The same goes for Chambers. So I'd like to see him work with him. Maitland-Niles, fullback / centre mid. I'd like to see him, similar to Rene, considered an option, seeing what they're made of now. He personally, I feel he needs to, his anticipation and concentration skills, he shows potential in them, but he can improve that to a degree. Ultimately, he needs to play games and get more minutes and be considered an option. I'm not saying they should walk in, but they need to fight and prove the gaffer. But yeah, not to gas Nelson extremely, but I think the guy is amazing, man. There's not much he can do wrong to me. I want to see him being given more of a chance. And when I say given more of a chance, I mean considered more when you look at the first team. Mustafi, I love him, but at this moment in time, I'm open to selling him / it can go either way. A new manager, I've said, might get something out of him, might be able to coach him differently, might be able to allow him to see football in a different way, or improve us defensively to allow us to look at Mustafi in a different light, or prove himself, because he has had some good games for us. And to be honest, until the last furlong of the season, really, where he's just been putting in poor performances, he was all right. But yeah, when you see things like the final, FA Cup final back in February against for Sergio Aguero, he's putting up his hands. I don't know what a coach could do, and he needs to be sold. Koscielny, he needs binning, but we need to sign the centre half. It's wishful thinking to think we're going to sign two. Like Mustafi, help him understand he can't be that aggressive. He cannot be that aggressive centre half because time is catching up with him. He needs to change certain things. If he's not going to adapt to things, simply bin him. But it may be, again, another manager will allow him to see football in a different light. I love Ramsey, Xhaka and Wilshere, but I'd love to see them become better defensively and be able to bet on them in big games that they're going to hold out consistently defensively, to be honest. Xhaka's been improving immensely recent weeks in that department. I like to see him work with Kolasinac, however you want to say his name, Kola, because he's shown some potential. At times he's a bit naive defensively, but he's shown he's strong and things like that. He can do something going forward. I don't know whether Wenger's feeling him or if his injury problems, but I'd like to see what he could do in that department with him. Obviously, I'd like to see him ultimately improve with every player. get check. If we're not going to sign a keeper, get Check or Ospina better goalkeeping coaches. But they're the ones in particular I'd like to see put under the microscope by the manager. It probably won't be any of them. But yeah, man, there's not much more to be said on that front. Guys, deluded. I'm out. You guys here now. Get a comment, subscribe, and do the rest.